Mrs. Glenn. Welcome to the 4.3 Graphing Linear Functions video. So first, let's go over a couple things to remember is the slope-intercept form. So you want to rearrange your equation so that it's y equals a number x plus or minus another number so that you can easily graph the equation. Y can also be on the right-hand side. It does not necessarily have to be on the left. It just has to be by itself. And remember, m is your slope and b is your y-intercept. So slope tells you how much you're going to rise and run to the right every time. And if it's a negative slope, then it would just go down and always go to the right again. So the bottom number will always go to the right, but the top number, if it's positive or negative, will tell you if it goes up or down. And then your y-intercept is just where on the y-axis your line is starting. And then you also can use your x and y-intercepts to graph a line. So if you actually have it in this form where it's a number x plus or minus a number y equals another number, then you can actually substitute 0 into x and solve for y, and that will give you your y-intercept. And then you could substitute 0 into y and solve for x, and that would give you your x-intercept. And then all you need is 2 points on a graph. You would just connect your y and your x-intercepts together, and that would be your line. So this is a shortcut way of having to do it rather than have to solve for y. So if it's in this form already, use the intercepts. If it's not in that form, then put it into slope-intercept form and use your rise over run with your y-intercept. And I'll show you what that looks like in the next couple examples. All right, so this one is already in slope-intercept form where you have a number x and then another number at the end. So I'm going to start with -3 on our y-axis for the y-intercept. And let me use a different color than that so you can see it. That's better. All right, so we'll just go down 3 on the y-axis, and then our slope is -2 over 5. So from here, I'm going to go down 2, 1, 2, and I'm going to go to the right 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's my next point. So then all you have to do is just connect these two together, and you have your line. And then just put arrows on the end just to show that it goes on forever. And that's all you do. So this is your line that represents this equation. All right, moving on to the next one. Again, this is already in slope-intercept form. So we start with the y-intercept and we plot that on the graph, and it's a +2 this time. And then our slope is a +1. So we're rising 1 and we're running 2 to the right. So we go up 1 and 2 to the right. So up 1 and then over 2, 1, 2. And here's our next, those 2 points. So all you need is 2 points, and you just connect them, and you have your line. So you just draw past it a little bit, draw past this way a little bit, and then you make arrows, and you're done. Next one we have again is slope and the y-intercept, so we don't have to do anything this time. So we go to -5 on the y-axis, which is down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right here. And our slope is a +6. So remember, if it's a whole number, you can just put 1 underneath it to tell you how much to run to the right. So from here, we're going to go up 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1 over to the right. And here's our next point. We just need 2 points to make a line. So you're just going to go all the way down. That one was really bad. Let's see if I can do that again. That's a little bit better. And make it a little bit past the one dot and past the other, and there's your line. That's not a very straight line, but it's kind of hard to do on this tablet that I'm using. But you can make yours straight on your paper. And then this one, like I said before, is in the ax plus or minus by equals c. So all you have to do is substitute 0 into the opposite letter you're looking for. So if we substitute 0 into our x value, we would get 5 times 0. And this is so that we can solve for the y-intercept. So then this makes this 0 minus 4y equals -20. Then we would divide by -4. And this would be y equals a +5 because this is a negative divided by a negative. So our y-intercept is a +5. So up here, I'm going to make a +5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's our first point. And then same thing, except for this time, we're going to substitute 0 into y to get our x-intercept. So you substitute 0 into the opposite letter that you want. So now we're going to substitute 0 into the y. So we have negative 4 times 0. And now there's an x here, so we solve for the x to get our x-intercept. So somewhere on this line is what the other point's going to be. So 5x minus 4 times 0, well, 4 times 0 is 0, and 5x minus nothing is just 5x. And then we bring down our negative 20, divide by 5, and you get x equal to negative 4, because a negative number divided by a positive number is a negative answer. So negative 4 on our x-intercept, 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's our 2 points. So instead of having to solve for y, we can just substitute 0 in and get the same thing. All right, again, same thing here. So we're going to substitute 0 into our x, and that gives us the y-intercept. So 6 times 0 minus 2y equals 10. This turns into 0 minus 2y equals 10. Divide by negative 2, and you get y equals 10 divided by negative 2 is negative 5. So down here, negative 5 is our y-intercept. And then same thing, except for this time I'm going to plug 0 into y. So negative 2 times 0, 6x. So then this turns into 6x minus 0. So we have 6x equals 10. And this turns into divided by 6. So we have x equals, if we divide by 2 on the top and the bottom here, we would get 5 over 3. And 5 divided by 3 is 1.6 repeating. So just over half. So then this is 1, this is 2. Halfway would be 1.5, so just to the right of 1.5. And then you would connect those two dots together. Whoa, a little crooked. And you have your line. All right, and this one, same thing. Substitute 0 into x. And you get 8y equals 24. Divide by 8. And y equals 3. So on your y-axis, you're going to go up 3. And then erase this and do 0 into y to solve for your x-intercept. Oh my goodness. That 4 does not want to. There we go. So 12x plus nothing is just 12x. Divide by 12 and you get 2. So on your x-axis, the x-intercept is 2. And then you connect these two down. Let's see if it'll let me make a line. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Let's see if I can make a better line here. Nope. I don't think it's going to let me. No. It's just making me use the marker. All right. So you make your line go past the dots. All right, go away. Thank you. All right, so you make your line go past the dots and you have your line. All right, so write the equation to match the graphs. So now you're working backwards. So we have the two x-intercepts, or the y-intercept and the x-intercept. So you can start with your y-intercept, and we have y equals, our y-intercept is 1, 2, 3, 4, so we're going to have a plus 4. But then to get to this point over here, we had to go down 1, 2, 3. So that's down 3. And over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So running 5. And you're done. So from this point, which is your y-intercept, you're going down 1, 2, 3 to get to this row. And that's where we got -3. And then you're going to go over 5 to get to the other point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 is your run. So -3/5 x plus 4 is the equation for this line. Same thing over here. This is -1 this time. So y equals, and I'm going to put -1 on the right-hand side. And then we're going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a +4. And we're going over 2, 1, 2. So I can rewrite this 4 over 2 is just 2x. So our slope-intercept form would be y equals 2x minus 1. Go Seahawks. Woo!